Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-dudes.com, and we have two beers. We're actually going to compare an adjustment to a recipe. This is Mike's Vacay Brown Ales version 1 and version 2.
Yeah.
Or is it like other numbers?
Yep, okay. 1 and 2 right now.
1 and 2. So to my left, your right, this is version 1. Yes?
Yes.
Well, we've tasted this before on camera.
Yep.
And we had some notes. You've taken those notes and you've made version 2. Yep. So let's talk about.
I can tell you what my goal was. So
yeah, let's hit it.
So Vacay Brown number 1, if you remember, you can see in the camera here, it's got a nice color, but it was a little bit light in color, lighter than I wanted. But it's sort of got like a Newcastle brown type color to it. Yeah. So I definitely wanted it to be a little bit more brown in color. The original recipe was about 85–84% base malt. It was a combination of Maris and a little bit of American Jewel. That's what I had. I had some flake barley in there just because I like that, and I used 4 ounces of pale chocolate, 4 ounces of special roast, and a little bit of that extra special Briess malt that we've gotten, right? Yep. That's like a 0.125. What is that? 1/8 of an ounce. So in the new recipe, what I didn't like in this recipe is I felt like there was a little bit too much toast with not enough caramel sweetness or stuff like that that I like to have in a brown ale. And I thought like the combination of the special roast that I had and that extra special Briess malt was just, I just didn't necessarily like the presentation there. And I wanted it a little darker. So in the new recipe, it's about 84% all Maris this time just because I had it. And now I took, instead of 4 ounces of pale chocolate, I went to 5 ounces of straight up American chocolate at 350
Makes a difference.
Give you the color, so the color's there. Yeah. I stuck with 4 ounces of flaked barley, so I didn't change that. I got rid of the extra special from Briess, and I went into 4 ounces of C60 because I like that in the brown ale. It's worked for me before. And I took the special roast at 4 ounces and I dropped it in half to 2 ounces to get rid of some of that over-the-top toast. But I really do think brown ales benefit from that Briess Special Roast malt. It's just that in this application it seemed to have been too much. The hopping is the same as last time. It's an ounce of Challenger for 60 minutes and it's an ounce of EKG with about 10 minutes to go. I did ferment this with a different yeast than last time, but this is, I wanted to try a totally new yeast to me. This is Cellar Science English yeast. So it's a dry yeast, relatively-ish new to the market. They've been around for a while, but we have not really explored those yet. So I just saw it on the website when I was ordering stuff, so I bought it and wanted to try it, and I'm pretty happy with the results. So this was a pretty straightforward mash, 152 for 60 minutes. It's a 3.5 gallon batch, and the starting gravity on this was 1048. The finishing gravity on this was 1014. So it's like, whatever, do the math on that, like 4.5% or something like that.
Yep. So yeah, certainly the toast is gone in this one. And, all the caramel notes, the more brown ale notes are there, for sure. Yep. Nailed the color. That's a nice brown color for sure.
Yeah, I think it's less red and more brown. Yep.
Well, it feels about the same, I think. Maybe the first one's a bit thinner.
Yeah, I mean the first one has been around since mid-December. So.
Okay. So okay.
But I've had it in a keg. And it's just the keg's that cold, waiting for this follow-up. Here we are, 6 months later.
Here we are. But we finally made it. Yeah, December seems so. It's like, well, that's not that far away, and yet
the water source is the same. I use the same spring water. I shifted the water a little bit. It's mostly calcium chloride. In the Vacay 1, it's calcium chloride and a little bit of gypsum, even amounts gram-wise. But then in the new beer, I went a little bit more calcium chloride and a touch of magnesium sulfate. Just because I'm experimenting with getting a little more magnesium into my system. So so the water is basically the same. The amount of sulfate chloride is pretty much the same as it was before. So yeah, I like this. It's not as that weird extra toasty without anything behind it. I don't mind toasty. I just there wasn't enough behind it to support that. Okay. I think the C60 helps here with that.
Yeah, for sure. That's for sure. Yep, I think this is more in line with brown ales of old that we used to make, for sure. Yeah. You know, it's good. Yep. Remember the old guidelines where it was like the northern brown ale, the southern brown ale? I mean, not that I think that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Southern brown ale, the way I always remember, Southern brown ale is supposed to be sweeter.
Yeah.
Sweeter than this.
Sure.
It's not even, that's not even a recognized distinction anymore in the BJCP categories. It's in there, I think London brown is in there as a historical style.
Okay.
But now it's just English brown ale as its category, and I think it means something in between those two things.
Yes.
Right? It's still sort of Newcastle-ish, and you know, even though I don't think they make Newcastle anywhere near the UK anymore, it's all being made at Budweiser now. So
yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I mean, to me, an English brown ale should have a little bit of an ester profile from the fermentation, a little bit of a really gentle balance of toast and caramelness, but not like sweetness, and just some bready biscuit quality, which I try to drive home with the little bit of special roast and the maris otter to make it authentic, feel authentic. But it should be very drinkable beer. It shouldn't really be a lot of character. No. It should just be something that tastes a little bit stronger than like a standard bitter or not ordinary bitter, but yeah, standard bitter or just straight up bitter.
Yep.
So yeah,
hops taste fresh. That's probably another difference that I'm taking from the two.
Yeah, just from an age standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, that's all it is. But yeah, I think. Do you feel like you were able to hit the notes you were trying to hit?
The color is there.
Yes.
I maybe a little bit more bitterness would be okay with me. But yeah, otherwise I think I did hit it. I made the adjustments I wanted to hit. I got rid of that overt biscuitiness.
Yeah.
And now it's all subtle. It's just subtle and well balanced.
Very good.
Awesome.
All right. Well, there you go. You know, it's progress.
I knew we'd get to it. It just took 6 months. But
well,
made some changes.
Would you make any adjustments to this?
Again?
Yeah. Would there be a vacay brown ale 3?
I would be curious to see if maybe getting rid of the flaked barley in favor of just more maris otter. That would probably be the only thing left, because I just wish there was a little bit more plain maltiness to it, and I think maybe the flaked barley's taking away from
Could be.
a little bit.
Yep.
A little bit. But I was curious to play with flaked barley in the brown ale. So.
I mean, it brings a nice mouthfeel to it, for sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, I just had to swallow there. Thank you very much. All right. Well, congratulations. If there is a 3, I'm sure it'll only get better, but 2 is quite grand by itself. All right. So that's our progress on brown ale. Mike's favorite kind of styles are English styles for sure, and it's nice to see him take some thoughts from his first try and make something a little bit better, or better based on what he thinks that the brown ale should be. So hopefully you learned something as well. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, because we do this kind of thing every single week. For John and Mike, brew-dudes.com, brew on.
Cheers.